Welcome to East Atlanta Church, where ministry is made simple by Pastor Jéan L. Ward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Being that it's Father's Day, one of the things I thought it would be only appropriate to deal with something about that, which is being about our Father's business. Being about our Father's business. Oftentimes we go through life and we think we have all the answers. And we tend to go through life with this telescopic view of only what we see, and we hold our worldviews to be true worldviews. This past week I've had the opportunity to travel and be a part of the SBC convention and realize the worldviews of many individuals that I consider my brothers and loved ones and friends are not the same worldviews that I share. I've done interviews, I've spoken with individuals, and in that I found myself at some point being a little bit despaired. I found myself at one point getting a little bit angry. I found myself at one point wondering, what is it all for? And God had to remind me. He said, listen, even though right now you may feel persecuted, even though you feel as if all things are against you, even though what you're going through seems that it might not be fair and people don't get you, I want you to understand something, that I am still God, I am still your Father, and I still have everything under control. The one thing about a father is a father will be there regardless. Whether or not the times are good or bad, a father will be there. The father may not give you the words that you want to hear, but he'll always give you the words that you need to hear. I remember growing up, my grandfather, who was like my father who raised me, he always told me, he said, listen, one thing you'll never do, you'll never let somebody run you back to your house and beat you up in your house. He said, another thing is walk with integrity. He said, even though the truth may hurt and it may come back to hurt you, but always be truthful in it. He says, because one thing you can never do, you can never escape the truth and you can never get over a lie. Because if you tell one, you got to tell another. And those things that he said resonated with me. And I remember growing up as a young lad, oftentimes we want to challenge our Father. Yes, we challenge our Father. We challenge our Father because of the fact that we feel that we've come to the point of being a man, and we can feel that we can look at them eye to eye. And we do that same thing with God now. We begin to challenge God. We begin to challenge what's going on. And we feel that God, I got it from here. And every now and then he shows us and he steps back and realizes how much of a child we are. My grandfather, I thought I was a man. I remember coming back from the military. He told me, he says, listen, Jack, I know you got your money set up and I know you're trying to do some things. And he says, and I understand you just got back here. But understand this. He says, you have 3 months to get out. Now, I just came in, but I had 3 months to get out. It's amazing how he gave me an exploration from the beginning. And God does that with us. It reminds me, God says, listen, you have a job to do. And my grandfather remembered that reminded me I had a job to do. I was commissioned by him to do a job. I had a purpose in my life. And it brought me to Matthew chapter 5 and being about our Father's business. The thing that we have to understand is Christ has commanded us with a job to do. But not only did he command us with a job to do, he gave us the instruction on how to do it and how we should reach the people. Now, when we pick up here in Matthew chapter 5, it is called the Beatitudes. And we find it in the Sermon on the Mount. Now, here's the thing. Many people have taught that Christ was delivering this message from the mountain down to the people. But actually, as he saw them gather, he wasn't speaking to the multitude. He was speaking to the disciples. And if we read, it says, and seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying. See, here's the thing. In the church, we've been so busy trying to tell people of the world how to live their life, but we miss the message that God gave to us. See, God said, before you can reach them, I have to reach you. Before you can go out and start evangelizing, I got to make sure you know what you're doing. I have to make sure your heart is right. I have to make sure your mind is right. I have to make sure you're conditioned. One of the things I realized when I went into the military, the thing is, the first thing you do is they galvanize you together, they seclude you, set you out, put you away, and then they transport you. Now, when they transport you, they send you away to a place where you will no longer have communication. They will isolate you. It's called being set aside. Many of you that's going through ordination, you understand what being set aside means. That means you've been placed aside and you've been prepared for something that is to come. So they isolate you. Now, when they isolate you, they then begin to condition you and train you. Now, many of you call it brainwashing. It's called conditioning. If you look at it as brainwashing, maybe it may be, because sometimes your brain needs to be washed of that mess that's in you. Because your worldview is so limited that you cannot begin to see the truth because of the blinders and the kaleidoscope that is on your eyes, that you're seeing it in a facet that will not help but hinder you, that will not grow but hurt you, that will not live but kill you. So we have to bring wash to that. So whatever it is you want to call it, Christ realized with his disciples, I have a job. There's a job to be done. I can't do this by myself, but I got to condition my disciples to do the job of the work of the Father. So he sits down, and the first thing he says, listen, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. The first thing he says, listen, before you think of anything else, before you go to anybody and you start knocking them for the way they dress and knocking them for the way they talk and feel like really thinking that they're not good enough and want to call them a heathen and a whore and everything else, he says, understand, they blessed are them because they're spiritually bankrupt. He says, my Father has a compassion for them. And before you can begin to look down at them, you must understand that my Father has such a compassion for them that he will pour out on them because he realized where they are. He said, I have their welfare at hand, and I will make sure they fare very well. So do not condemn them. Do not tear down them. Do not make a mockery of them, because my hand will be on them. Blessed are the poor in spirit. The poor in spirit. And I can imagine, if you think about it, many of us, what is that poor in spirit? That means that you have nothing inside of you of God because you're spiritually bankrupt, you're inept, and you're probably operating in the red. And you want these people to just automatically come to church. You want these people to automatically act right. You want these people to automatically stop wearing what they're wearing. You want these people to automatically change their mindset. No, it can't happen because they have not been set aside. They have not been brainwashed. They have not been conditioned. They have not been loved. See, the thing about the military is going in, I knew what I was going to get coming out. I knew the benefits of being in the military. There's nobody that goes in the military without understanding the benefits. We weigh the odds, and we realize that, you know, it's worth it. See, many people don't come to Christ and not part of the church because they don't understand what's it worth. What's the value in that? What's the value in being part of a local assembly? Oh, well, you know, the fellowship of the saints. Well, what does that mean? You want me to spend all my Sunday and all this stuff, and what is it valuing me? I'm looking at the statistics that these seminaries are turning out PhDs like a water runs out of a faucet. There are universities that have online classes with professors teaching theology, and seminaries are online, and they're only making $15 an hour. A professor, $15 an hour, $12 an hour. And you want me to do what again? What's it worth for what it costs? These people are spiritually bankrupt, so they don't understand. And that's why God said, I'm going to bless them because I get they don't understand. But we as teachers have to realize how to love them because God is going to bless them. Now it goes and it says, in the next it says, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. See, here's another thing. We have to realize that many of us seek comfort in other things. And what he's saying is, listen, I realize there are people that are hurting. But we got to stop seeking comfort in things and in people and in action. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? I mean this. We seek comfort from people. We go to people to make us feel good. We'll call up people. We'll see people. We'll be friends with people. We'll hang out with people. Or we need things. We want to smoke. We want to drink. We want to buy. We want to shop. But see, in action is the shopping aspect of it. We want to spend money. We want to go on a vacation. We do all these things to circumvent the problem that we're dealing with that's making us feel empty. See, people ask questions. They say, well, I really believe in insurance policies. And I said, why? I said, money can't bring nobody back, but it sure can't help me deal with the grieving process. And I've always said that statement. It's about the grieving process. Okay? Now, by understanding that, they're saying that, listen, I was saying that by putting my faith in the money and the things that I can do and not in God. And we do that. And we all fall short of that. Think about it. How many of y'all, it feels good to go shopping? It feels good to go shopping. Whether you buy it for yourself or for somebody else, it feels good to go shopping. Why is that? For some people it doesn't. Some people hate shopping. Some people will sit back there and get a personal buyer and go buy them whatever they need. They don't like it, the personal shopper. Some people, they love it. It's therapeutic for some people. But God is saying, listen, there are individuals that are like that, and I need you to be equipped to understand that they're going through something. So what you think it is, they're mournful. You're thinking that they're addicted to the substance, but it may not be the substance that they're addicted to. It's the fact that they're trying to make themselves numb from dealing with what's going on in their life. See, so I will bless them, but your heart has to be prepared to be able to deal with them. You have to understand what they're going through. It's not about where they're at, but it's about what they're trying to elude or escape from. Hear what I just said? It's not about where they're at. It's about where they're trying to escape from. Because their reality is not happy for them. They don't want it. So they want to run someplace else to a false reality. They want to dive into it and live another life. Why do you think so many people can, I used to wonder. I know some people that can up and move and can drop it down. Y'all remember people like that? I mean, they will up and move cross country. When I was in Arizona, I ran across so many people that I was like, here's the thing. I was like, why are black people in Arizona? What? I know why my Latino brothers are here. I get that. I know why y'all are here. Matter of fact, some of y'all already here. I know why my Native American brothers are here. You know what I'm saying? I love seeing pure Native American brothers when I was in Arizona. But I know that. Okay, and I get why my Anglo brothers are here. I get that. I understand. I mean, we understand how y'all been going across. But why y'all black people here? It's hot. And we had enough of the heat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was just trying to wonder, but then I realized there's so many black people that said I lived in New York, and I lived in California, I lived in Seattle, I lived in Georgia, and I just up and moved. And the story was always I up and moved. And I wonder, what makes you up and move? I mean, really? Because they want to escape where they are. They want something new. And it made me begin to think. A lot of times what we don't realize is what we're running from is ourselves. And we feel the best way to handle the situation is to move into another situation, but we never deal with where we're at. Now, some people I know they did, and they would leave everything. Well, I'm selling everything. I'm taking nothing but these clothes and this suitcase, and that's it. I don't want nothing. I commend you for doing that. Me, people that know me, they're like, Jéan, you won't move like that, because you're right, because I gotta know I'm gonna be honest, I'm that person that has to know where everything is at. I don't want to go to I don't want to go to the car lot to get my car fixed. I need to know the guy who knows how to fix my car. Okay? I didn't know where everything is. I want to know what's going on locally. But the thing is, that's my comfort zone. Did you hear what I just said? Doesn't make it right. It's just my comfort zone. Doesn't make it wrong. That's my comfort zone. I find comfort in that. Now, who's better? Neither one. What we have to begin to realize is these individuals that are going through this, they're trying to escape because they're mourning. They're trying to leave the situation and think it's going to be better. But God says, listen, bless you, I got you. And we have to give them that comfort that God would give. And not judge them, but realize that they're hurting and love them in spite of it. Next, it says, blessed are the meek. And I want to say, let me go to this blessing about the more. They should become. One thing about that more. The other thing is they want to seek revenge. We got to learn how to deal with that. You ever seen people when they're hurt, the first thing they want to do is attack? Hurting people hurt people. Now, and one of the things he wanted the disciples to understand is, when you go through this, I need you not to be hurting people. Don't let your mourning begin to breed a mourning party. Okay? We don't need pity parties. You're going through, I get you going through. Well, everybody going through or coming out or in at any given point in their life. Don't perpetuate that onto someone else. Okay? Don't seek revenge. Stop being nasty. You know, if you can't see, understand something. If you feel your life ain't where it's supposed to be, why would you talk bad about somebody else when they're going through? Do you think God is going to make it easier for you? No. Many of us are going through things because we don't know how to uplift people that are going through. Can you imagine if when you saw people that are going through and you love them, and when you saw people that made it, you celebrate them? Can you imagine what God will do for you? We're going to go back to that. Remember that point. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now this goes back to this goes into what I was saying. See, when you think too highly of yourself, you're going to think you can look down at somebody else. Well, that's what they get. No, that's not what they get. That's what they deserve. No, that's not what they deserve. Had a conversation yesterday via Facebook, and I'm dealing with the whole Black Lives Matter thing and what's going on. And the problem that bothers me is a gentleman made the statement that I love, our brother, and he says, well, Jéan, the thing is, if they were dressed right, if they dressed a certain way and they acted a certain way, he says, and if they were raised properly, and I was, whoa, wait a minute. I had to say, brother, I know you mean well, but I find that offensive and disrespectful. You gonna sit back and say that black children aren't raised right? You trying to say I'm not raised? I wasn't reared right? I'm sorry, when was the last time you heard about black kids killing their family in LA that one time? And they end up, and those kids are little old white folks. I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw that out there. We scared to do that. As a matter of fact, we're the ones that don't, that we believe in spare the rod, spoil the child. We believe in that tail up. We don't believe in timeout. The only timeout we grew up with is I'm taking a timeout from beating you right now so I can catch my breath. Okay, get back over here. We invented go get your belt for me to beat you with. That was us. You know, see, that's something we understood. We had a village mentality. When you got beat, when you did something wrong, the neighbor got you, the next neighbor got you, your auntie got you, and when your mama got home, she got you, when your daddy got home, he got you. You didn't want to go to your granddaddy's house even though it was a week later because he was still going to get you for something that happened a week ago because he didn't get to you then. And that whole thing goes back to the thing of thinking that you're more than me. You can talk down to me and say that, well, this is what it is. No, that's not the problem. One of the first things I try to deal when I talk to people about what's going on, I try to find out where they are before I hit them hard and say, well, you know what you need to do. I'll ask myself, would you like to know where I think the problem, the breakdown may have been? Do you mind? Well, let's see what we could have done differently. But no, we always want to sit back and hurt other people because we want to then transfer our hurt onto them. And we feel that we have this superior mentality to do that. See, he says, listen, the meek shall inherit the earth. Those that don't think high of themselves. Now, that doesn't mean those that think lowly of themselves, okay? You got to have some esteem, some self-esteem about yourself. You can't be lowly. But meek means that realizing that your greatness only comes from God and you're no better than anyone else. Meekness will let me tell you what meekness will do. Meekness will make you fearful to say something bad about somebody like that's what they did. When you know your stuff ain't right. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anybody that come to me and tell me what they're going through, I plead for them. They said they lost their home. I'm praying. And somebody would say, well, that's what they get. They went out there balling. It is, yeah, I know. But you know what? They didn't pay it. They didn't take care of their bills. They had poor money management. But do I have the best money management skills there are? Do I do everything the best that I can do? No. They lost their job. Well, they should have did this. But I've lost a job before. I know it. Did I do the best thing I can do? Am I in the best situation? If I lost my job, am I really okay that would be okay with me? No, I'm not. So I don't want that to happen to nobody. So my heart bleeds. These are the things we got to think about. You have to really, really think about these things. Because it's a heart issue. And these are all heart issues. And that's what it comes down to this one. It says, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. It's wrapping back up again. Blessed are those that thirst after hunger after righteousness. Anybody remember a time where they didn't like drinking water? You remember a time you didn't like drinking water? But then you start drinking water, and what did your body begin to do? Crave water, didn't it? The more you indulge in something, the more you crave it. Hear what I just said? The more you indulge in something, the more you crave it. What are you indulging in? Y'all want to write that down. I'm going to say it again. The more you indulge in something, the more you crave it. What are you indulging yourself in? Because what you indulge yourself in is what you're going to produce. The more you drink water, the more you're going to do what? Perspire and go to the bathroom, aren't you? Am I right? You're going to remove, it's going to be flushed out of your system. So what you indulge yourself in is what you're going to produce. It can either help you or hurt you. Which is going to do? It's your choice. See, we thirst after the wrong things. We really do. He sits here and he says, blessed are they which hunger. What do you desire? Are you chasing after God? Are you hungry for His word? Are you spiritually bankrupt because you're not putting God into His word into you because you're not thirsty for it? So if you start it, then you'll become thirsty for it. Hear what I said? If you start it, and it takes a while. It takes a while. But after that while, you're thirsty. When you work out, you go to the gym, you get in, you thirst for it, you thirst for it, you thirst for it. You got a TV show you like, you start watching it, you want more of it, you want more of it, you want more of it. If you don't never get in that TV show, you'll have nothing to worry about no matter what people are saying. I do not watch Game of Thrones. One of the hottest shows out. Don't watch it. Why? Because I see it's addictive. I got too many shows already I'm watching. I can't put on another one. I don't want to be thirsty for it. I don't. So I don't watch it. I won't watch one episode of it intentionally. Not saying that it's a bad show. Orange is the New Black. My daughter tried to get me to watch that. I said I can't do it. Because I think that's another one of them shows. I don't have time. And I was like, I'm so far behind Daddy, you can binge watch it. No, I'm not binge watching it. I already got to binge watch my Bible. See, that's the problem. How many of y'all binge your Bible? How about binge watching it? How about binge reading your Bible? How about doing that? And watch yourself thirst for it. The more you read it, the more you're going to thirst for it. The more you're going to be hungry for it. Because it's going to feed you. But then the thing is, you know what happens with food? You take it and you digest it. It fills you up, and then you let out other stuff that's wasteful, and then you burn that energy. The food becomes energy, right? And it fuels you. And it fuels you. The same with the word. You get it and it fuels you. And you think that just because you ate some word last that's going to fuel you this week. No, boo-boo, you've already used that and fueled your energy to deal with everything that you had last week. You need some new fuel in you. Am I making sense? You need some new fuel. Because you're either fueling yourself with McDonald's or you're fueling yourself with healthy food. And I'm going to tell you, healthy food is limited. You ever been to the grocery store? What they have, a health food what? Section. So if there's a health food section, what does that make the rest of the grocery store? I'm just saying. So if I go to a restaurant and I open up the restaurant, and you ever seen the little green leaves on the side of the restaurant? On the food that they have on the menu, they have a little green leaf. You know, it's called the healthy choice. So if that's the healthy choice, then what's this? That means that's an unhealthy choice. And then it gets me. Now, I know y'all like, are you chasing it right now? Hear me? Because it's how the way you eat food is the way you need to eat your word. Because we need to understand that. Because we need to make wise decisions with what we put in our spirit. Okay? I remember, because I'm trying to lose weight and everything, and I went to Publix, the healthier choice of grocery stores, and I wanted some chicken. Now, and I know there's no pun intended. There's so many jokes behind a pastor, a preaching chicken. Let that ride. Stop. Now I wanted some chicken, and I went in there to get some chicken, and I looked at the calorie count on the chicken. And I was like, how many calories? And this what really got me. I asked her, I was like, how many calories in this chicken right here? She said, I don't know. She says, I guess they feel like you're going to eat it. You ain't concerned about calories anyway. So, wow. I mean, you're wrong, but you're right at the same time. But then I found the caloric intake. One piece of chicken was 387 calories. One piece of fried chicken. And I had to think to myself, is it worth it? They say a healthy diet to lose a pound a week, a pound to 2 pounds a week, is a 2,000 calorie intake a day. 2,000. 2,000. If you go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac meal, not supersized and not a large Coke, you're already pushing, I think they said 1,300 calories. 1,300 calories. One slice of pepperoni pizza, 380 calories. Now, I know my daughter hates it because they always like, you gotta watch where you the one picking what about where you eat. Well, yeah, I'm picking about what I eat because here's the thing, I only got so much to work with. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Spiritually. Now, here's the funny part about it. I can go to the Lettuce Surprise or restaurants and all that and gorge on lettuce and salad and vegetables and eat till my stomach about to pop and still not hit 300 calories. Still not hit 300 calories. Now that doesn't mean you douse it with a whole lot of dressing and all that fat stuff, okay? I mean, I use a vinaigrette, I use vinegar. That vinegar that burns, it's counteracting, burning while I'm eating. Now, only my bad part is cheese. I love cheese. Cheese is real good. But here's the thing. The same way you put this mess in your life with shows that you watch, okay, and things that you dive into, indulge in, it makes you fat because it's too much and it's not healthy. Even though there might be some things in there that are good. I mean, McDonald's burger does. A Whopper will have what? You got, or pizza, Pizza, you got your dairy. You got your bread. You got your tomatoes, your vegetables. You got your meat. You got, that's the argument about pizza. It has, the 4 basic food groups. It has the 4 basic food groups. It does. Now, but realistically, you can get that same thing in a salad and be more filling. And healthier for you, and not fattening. We can do all that, if we went ahead and ate right. God says, listen, all that stuff you put on, you watch, and you put in your system, is you can read more of my word. Get more of the Bible inside of you. And it'll be healthier, and it will make you last longer, and it'll fuel you longer. But you got to thirst for it. You got to hunger for it, which means that you got to create a desire for it inside of you. Then, and I love that because he says when you begin to do that, then you can begin to build up your spiritual bank account. You know? And the next thing we go back and it says, listen, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. That goes into what I said earlier. If you don't have mercy on the individuals that are going through, and you're not trying to help, if someone is going through or something you think they're going through, and you don't run to their aid to have mercy on them and show them grace, how do you expect God to run through yours? Right now, I will say this to someone. If you want God to move for you, you move for somebody else. If you want God to move for you and do something miraculous for you, then do it for somebody else. You want a better job? Help somebody else get a better job. Matter of fact, help them get a better job than you got. And watch what God will do. But here's the thing. The next thing behind it is, blessed are those that are pure in heart, for they shall see God. You have to do it with the right intent. Not doing it to be jealousy, but have the pureness in heart. You know, being fathers, say one thing about a father wants more for his family than he wants for himself. Okay? Those that didn't know, my daughter recently had an accident and it totaled her car. I'm in the process of trying to get something for her, but even though whatever she gets will be better than what I have. Not for show, but because my purest of heart wants what's best. But God says, I don't want you just having that for your child. I want you to have that for everyone. For everyone. Does that make sense? You should want better for everyone. Can you imagine if we tried to make better for everyone and let God make better for us? You heard me? Did you get that? If we make better for everyone and waited for God and allowed God to make better for us. I didn't say make everyone better and everyone else make better for us. Because see, that's what we do. We do it and say, I do all these things for people and nobody doing nothing for me. God said, I didn't ask you. That's not how it works. You do all these things for people and let me do what's for you. If you're doing it for people to do back to you, then your heart is not pure and you can't see me. Because what it says, he says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The only way you can see God is that your actions are pure. You can't see what God is doing in your life because you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're missing it. You want to see God? Then therefore make sure your heart is pure. And your actions are pure. Not for what you want out of it, but because that's what's in your heart. He says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Notice that then we have to set the atmosphere. What is the atmosphere saying? Once again, here's the thing. If you're not pure in heart, you can't have set a good atmosphere. If you're not feeding yourself right, you can't have a good atmosphere. If you're not loving people, you can't have a good atmosphere. If you're not meek, you can't set a good atmosphere. See, all these things that I've gone through before, what he did is he was setting up a stage for all the disciples to know what it takes out of them for them to go reach them. He says, you got to make sure you're right. Set the atmosphere right. Get the atmosphere right. And have a peaceful atmosphere. See, one thing about it, we don't have to all agree, but we can still all get along. I don't have to bring you down and take you up. My thing is I can love you. And what I mean by bring you down and take you up, I do not have to come through and annihilate you. I can say the same thing without destroying you. Now, does that mean that some things need to be torn down? Yes, it does. The things there's a destructive way to do things. And there's a healthy way to do things. Yeah, does that make sense? Sometimes we just want to annihilate things and cause total chaos. And God said, that's not how we do this. But if your heart was pure, you would understand it. He said, so therefore we got to be peacemakers. And to be a peacemaker is intentional. Now, when he said the ultimate peacemaker is Christ, now I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we got to be like Christ. We have to begin to walk in an atmosphere of where we create peace. And if we see we see things that are going crazy, we got to bring it down. I admit, this past Tuesday, I was upset and what was going on, and I had one of my friends that was a pastor that was like, either what's wrong with Lord? Either he's sleepy or he's just that angry. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm awake. My eyes wide open, I'm awake. He was like, so you angry? I said, oh yeah, I'm angry. But I had to think about it. If I act in a physical way, what does that produce? Nothing, right? I had to be intelligent. This is blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness. And here it comes. And this is why you have to remain in peace. Because he said, blessed are those that are persecuted for his righteousness. This is what he told the disciples. Blessed are which are persecuted for his righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. He says, listen, you will have struggle. They're going to come after you, and they're going to dog you. They're going to denounce you. But what you have to do is you have to understand that I'm your father, and you're going to be with me. My grandfather told me, he said, Jack, they're going to talk about you. My grandmother used to say, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's what I was like, but words hurt. But I had to think about it. What she was really saying is, words can only destroy you if you allow them to. Words have power, but if you allow, somebody can throw a word at you. Now you can either let that word hit you, or you can Jackie Chan that word. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Block it, put it back. I said Jackie Chan because Jackie Chan uses what is called reverse energy. He takes the energy that you give him and he reverses it back to you. Can you imagine? We busy trying to Chuck Norris it. We want to fight our way through. But Jackie Chan, he can fight more people and still be out peacefully. And if you look at it, everybody watch Jackie Chan. If you really think about it, it's always people beating themselves up when they're fighting him. You ever notice that? He'll use an enemy and put one enemy into another enemy. And he's like, I'm not doing this. It's just nothing but I'm just displacing energy. And that's what God says. Listen, you ain't got to fight it. Just displace it, redistribute the energy back towards it. And they'll see it. They're going to be tired. Muhammad Ali called it the rope-a-dope. They'd get him up on the ropes and he just let him go, yeah, just beat him up, yeah. But he knew what he was doing. God says, don't worry about it. Just go ahead, let them think they get you. Get him on ropes, get the rope-a-dope, pow, pow, pow. He says, I got you. They're going to tire themselves out because they only got so much. Because remember, they fueled themselves with the wrong thing. They were eating McDonald's. They were eating McDonald's, not the salad. Am I making sense here? Okay? So don't worry about it. It's going to end. Then it closes, blessed are ye when men shall rival you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. You ain't new to this. You're not new to this. Remember, I want you to get this. Here's why it's so important for you to stay on the struggle. It says, ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick. And it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You can't give up. And what purpose are you if you're not giving out what God gave you? You've lost your savor. You've lost your purpose. You've lost your usefulness. And you're only going to be trodden on by men. God says, I would never want you to lose your purpose. So correct yourself. Change your heart. Renew your mind. And understand that as you're persecuted, they persecuted those before you. So when you go out on there to talk to my people, that multitude that's gathered at the bottom of this mountain, remember that it all goes for God. And when you feel that it's going bad, and you feel that it's about to end, realize that your glory comes in heaven. And realize that they're not going to lift you up. They're not going to hoist you above their shoulders. They're not going to build a statue in your name. They're not going to name something after you. They're not going to elect you. They're not going to make you the greatest there is of all time. Why? Because he says your glory shall be, the glory goes to God, which is your Father in heaven. It doesn't go to you. So even if they do honor you, remember it's not about you. Christ said he did this for the Father and for us. He did it for the least of these. He gave up his life for us. And if Christ can give up his life for us, why can't we give up our lives for each other and serve God the way Christ did? Instead of hating on each other, instead of not understanding each other, instead of reaching out to each other, why can't we do that and let God handle us while we handle his children? And we do that, then we'll be about our Father's business. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Let us stand.